This is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, and it is October 2nd, 2024. I am holding up a 1996 pair of hand-painted shoes. These are my size 10, and I painted some for Tori Amos and her size 7, and I wrote a song about it called Dumpster Diving Boots. And the hat that I'm wearing, I actually painted in 1992 for Tom Petty, who widens my jetty. And today is the anniversary of the death of Tom Petty, the songwriter Tom Petty. This is another hat I painted recently in my Kring style. Um, got my Tom Petty button on, got my opal moonstone necklace that I created. I am like really, really busy, and I wish I had more time to sit and relax and do a nice long video. But I'm going to go walk some dogs and art model at one of the local art schools here in Seattle. So I just wanted to try to stay focused. I'm kind of a little ADHD and a little autistic on the spectrum here. My brain connects the dots in different ways. I'm writing poetry and music with Dave Flowers from Interactive Jack Records, and this is the Tom Petty. His birthday would have been October 20th. He would have been 74 of this year. I'm going to go see with my friends who also appreciate Tom Petty, October 20th, the movie that's called Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Beach Party, directed by Cameron Crowe. It's a movie that was made in the 80s and they're re-releasing it. I just wanted to try to focus. My brain is scattered all over the place. I'm feeling a little stressed out about world events right now, but I'm trying to just focus my energy on honoring the music of Tom Petty, the creativity. I say Tom Petty widens my jetty. That's a double, triple entendre. Obviously, it's a romantic innuendo. Tom Petty widens my jetty. He's a very handsome, very beautiful, romantic person. In my opinion, his music is very romantic and beautiful. I have a huge crush on him. Yes, ever since I was 11 years old. Actually, here it is. Here's the record that changed it all for me. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Damn the Torpedoes. I was 11 years old. I grew up on Whidbey Island, and I was born in San Diego, California, and we moved to Whidbey when I was 9. And I heard Refugee on a jukebox in a pizza parlor called Gay 90s Pizza in Green Bank on Whidbey Island. I was with my mom and my female friend Stephanie, and I heard Refugee, and I literally went, oh my gosh, what is this song? I ran over to the jukebox. I stopped eating the pizza and I ran over to the jukebox, and it said Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Refugee. And I was like, wow, this song sounds amazing. And I didn't even know what he looked like at that point. And then when I went home, I borrowed the record. My friend Stephanie said, my brother has this record. You can probably borrow it. So I borrowed this record from Dane, my friend Stephanie's friend, and I listened to it over and over. But first, I just was obsessed with the song Refugee, and I listened to it over and over and over. And then I listened to the whole record, and I realized I like the whole record. This whole record is amazing. This whole record is great. But Refugee, you don't have to live like a refugee. Tom Petty has now, and then my friend Dave Flowers painted this for me for a present. The Story of Goddess Kring. There's a song called The Story of Goddess Kring. So there's that. But let's just say that when I say Tom Petty widens my jetty, it means I'm inspired by, he reinforces and validates. If you listen to a lot of his lyrics, it's like it's all about trusting yourself, following your heart, don't let the bastards get you down, stay to the course, damn the torpedoes. It's like you stay the course, you believe in yourself. So when I say Tom Petty and Tori Amos are my service musicians, I painted shoes for Tori. painted the top hat for Tom Petty. I wrote a song about it called Dumpster Diving Boots. That's just how important it is to me. I'm scattered all over. My brain is scattered all over because I have like dog walking and art modeling. But Tom Petty's music, I know every record, and I have no delusional fantasies that I knew Tom Petty as a real person because I never met him. I never met him. I did meet Tori Amos. I painted shoes for her and met her, and she wore them on stage at the Paramount Theater in Seattle, 1996, and that's literally what happened. But Tom Petty, I never met him, but I did send his fan club postcards with a Xerox of hand painted. I used to work at a Xerox place and I made postcards and I mass produced them and I sent them every day to his fan club in Encino, California for 6 months to try to see if I could meet him and give him a hand painted top hat that I painted for him. This one, literally 1992, I painted this, but I never did meet him. His first wife, Jane, wrote me a postcard saying, "Hope you can dig. Tom's busy, blah, blah, blah." So I never met Tom Petty in person, but I saw him live perform many, many, many times. So I used his music as I'm inspired as a poet and a writer because I write a lot of poetry myself. I have a book called, where is it? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I have to get my book. My book. I'm serious about my poetry. I'm wearing a baggy vest today. Look at my baggy vest. Woo! Okay. Kringonian Pizzazz. This is the not for resale author copy. This is my copy that I got. And so Kringonian Pizzazz, Kring Speak Poetry. I've written poetry. I've published it in a book. I'm very serious about my music and my art and my painting and my photography. I'm trying not to trivialize this, but so I think of myself as not a casual Tom Petty fan. I think of myself as a serious connoisseur of the music. I literally know the lyrics to most of the songs, and my favorite songs are not the hit songs. My favorite songs are the deep cuts like Luna and Pirates Cove and Shadow People and all the different songs on the records that are not the hits that I won't mention right now, but there's dozens of songs that I really love. The music is uplifting, the music is inspirational. So when I say Tom Petty widens my jetty, and then I talk about Tori Amos, doesn't blame us, but names us, Neil Young washes away the fertile dung. Um, Mick Jagger struts in, his dagger grabs me. And I have another rhyme in another song that I wrote called Drowning in Frowns, dagger that introduced Jaggerisms. I'm also inspired by Mick Jagger. And then people say it's shallow to worship rock stars, but I'm not worshiping rock stars. What I mean is, as humans, Joseph Campbell talks about how we shadow project, and we project onto our heroes people that we see in the media. We either think of them as heroes and villains. So I suppose you could say that I think of Mick Jagger and Tom Petty and Neil Young and Tori Amos as sort of heroic in terms of brave, authentic, expressive humans. And so Tom Petty widens my jetty is, a sexual innuendo, kind of a joke in a way, but it also represents Tom Petty widens my jetty, meaning Tom Petty reinforces, helps me feel less afraid, helps me feel more like the Wizard of Oz instead of the little man behind the curtain who's fragile. So it's like a validation and a reinforcement to remind me, almost like a compass, to remind you to stay the course, follow your heart, follow your dreams, do what you love. Tom Petty's literally an example of somebody who got to meet Elvis Presley on the set of Follow That Dream, literally follow that dream in Florida. And when he was 11 years old, he was inspired by Elvis. And when I was 11 years old, I was inspired by Tom Petty's music. And I was really grieving California. My mom and I left San Diego, California when I was 9 in a very abrupt way that was very stressful to me. We left my dad and my grandparents and my school and my friends and the sunshine to move to beautiful green, but very moldy and wet and damp Whidbey Island. So we went from a San Diego suburb to a moldy trailer in the woods on Whidbey Island at the end of Pioneer Park Place Road. So Tom Petty, and then when I saw his photo, he looked when I first saw, I heard Refugee and I loved the sound of it. It sounded a little bit like Bob Dylan to me. My dad played a lot of Bob Dylan around me. So I heard it and it sounded a little like Bob Dylan to me and I loved it. And then when I saw him, this blonde hair, blue-eyed, slender man, he looks like the little boys that I would chase in San Diego, like that would ride around on their skateboards, or like the cute surfer dudes that I thought, ooh, if I grow up in San Diego, I'll probably want to date one of these blonde hair, blue-eyed surfer dudes or whatever. So he looks like extremely handsome person that I would like to chase around the playground as a third grader. I mean, equivalent like little. So he looks like a little kid that I had a crush on that grew up to an adult man. And so when I became like more of an adult, I, I still have a crush on him to this day. So that's all. So like he's, very handsome, but it's symbolic of the actual lyrics, the actual meaning in the lyrics, the beautiful rhymes, the Bob Dylan poetic style, the folk rock, the Birds, the Beatles, the Stones, the movie Echo in the Canyon. I love that movie. Thank you, Jacob Dylan, for making that movie. Thank you, Pete Droge, the musician that I admire who lives on Vashon Island, who I just had an interaction with online. Put little smiley faces to each other. We're talking about music. Pete's talking about music. So, and Pete got to open for Tom Petty way back, and I told Pete about how much I love Tom Petty, and Pete was, so never mind. So it's all synchronicity. So yeah, I gotta go work. I gotta go walk dogs and model for an art class. But Kringen and Pizzazz, happy. Thank you, Tom Petty, for your contribution. I'm also excited that Rick Beto, is that how you say his name, interviewed Tori Amos, and that's going to be on his podcast soon. But thank you, Tom Petty, for your beautiful music. Thank you for dedicating your life. You loved music so much, and I treasure that when you left us, it was very sad, but I treasure the music that you left behind for us to enjoy for years to come. And I just want to say, and I wrote your name in a song called Dumpster Diving Boots, talking about Tom Petty widens my jetty and painted him a top hat. And may God rest his glowing soul. You taught me at the age of 11, I don't have to live like a refugee. So that's kind of what it is in a nutshell. Why I appreciate Tom Petty so much. He helped me get through my difficult childhood. His music, I know that a lot of his hardcore fans, I've heard them, they say his music helps them get through their divorce, helps them get through their, getting fired from their job. Basically, his music has helped a lot of people get through tough times. And so when I say he's my service musician, I'm not even joking. I'm saying that Tori Amos and Tom Petty's music has helped me, and I write poetry and I write music. I'm also a powerful creative person. So I don't mean to say this like I'm just some fan and groupie in the audience and these are my rock stars. I think of them as creative mentors. And I am also a creative, powerful artist myself. Where is my postcard? Oh, well, I put my postcard away. I should have left it. Oh, well. Um, Here we go. Here's some powerful art that I made. Here we go. Powerful art that I made. Here's me being a hero. So it's not just about Tom Petty and Tori Amos and Mick Jagger and Bob Dylan and Bjork and Beck and Laurie Anderson and all the wonderful artists that I admire. It's also about me, Shannon Kringen, me. People have accused me of being a narcissist. Well, I'm on the autism spectrum and I'm really good at doing self-portraits. So here's me trying to be the Wizard of Oz, a very powerful, powerful person. And thank you, Tom Petty and Tori Amos and all the wonderful musicians that I love in the world, and Jason Webley and Rafe Perlman and Pete Droge and Jesse Sykes. And these are some local people that I love. Pete Rose, Jesse Sykes, Jason Webley, Rafe Perlman. These are some local artists that I know, and I gave them all. I gave Jason Webley and Miranda July, also another artist I admire, a copy of my poetry book. I gave Jesse Sykes a copy of my poetry book. We would love to get our music on KEXP radio if they think it's good enough. We're going to start performing live, Kring Flower music, Goddess Kring music. Here's me, Goddess Kring. So thank you for listening. I honor the music of Tom Petty, the amazing legacy. His body of work is huge. They made albums from the early 70s all the way up to 2014 with Hypnotic Eye. I love the later albums called The Last DJ, Mojo, Highway Companion, and Hypnotic Eye. Those are the last few records. I love all of their records. I especially love the last five records, but I really appreciate the full body of work of Tom Petty, who widens my jetty. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.